What is going on, everybody? Welcome into another edition of the Survivor 50 After Show. I'm your host, Bobby Goodsby, joined as always by my co-host and Survivor legend, Jonny Fairplay. How you doing today?
Good. I got something to say, but let's announce our special guest here.
Yes, our special guest, winner of Survivor 43, legend here at Reality After Show, the Gabler himself, Mr. Gabler. Tell us all about yourself. How you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me here, Bobby. And of course, Jonny, it was an awesome episode. Hard to believe some of it, but that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, Mike, we are so happy to have you, dude. We're so glad you're back with us. Hopefully it won't be as long this time, but we have a lot to talk about. 50.
I'm tired. I just flew in from Newport, Rhode Island. Boy, are my arms tired. So, but I had the big event with Richard Hatch last night at Newport Craft and Brewing in Newport, Rhode Island, and it was awesome. And I'll talk about that a little later. I went back to Bruce's house, Bruce from Survivor 40, 45 and 46. And I had a 4:50 a.m. wake up call, and I'm just like, let me check out what the boys did while I was gone. Let me check out our coverage here at Reality After Show with Gabe Ortiz and Philip Solomon and Wayne Memmott and Matt the Beard Bischoff. What did they have to say? And I would be remiss if I did not start with this comment right here, because holy moly, did this fucking land. Gabe Ortiz had the hottest take possibly in the history of Survivor, in which he stated, we thought, as fans, the Survivor fandom, we thought we hated the journey, the fucking advantages, the 26 days, all these things that we don't. We hated the cast.
I don't know about that, but it's been like, it is a fun thing. You get in there, it goes fast. It's like running a marathon, but at a half-mile pace. Everything is just clipping along. It's fun. It is fun.
But the cast, I was not excited about the inclusion of Mike White on this season. I'm just like, oh my God, like it's the White Lotus guy. I get it, whatever. My fiance hates television. Okay, so she has no idea what White Lotus is. She has no idea who this Mike White guy is. She was like, that's Survivor, the old guy. The old guy that's just like, I don't like when these guys talk too much.
Mike White has done a phenomenal job, not only getting in shape. I mean, I don't know whose abs are better. Honestly, Mike White's or Jonathan's. It's very close, and I'm probably leaning towards Mike White on this. And
Jonathan deferred to Mike White on social media.
and Mike's comment, that's why he's probably been so successful as a writer and director, is he just the things that he says, his verbiage is just a little unique. It's a little different. So I love his one-liners. I could listen to him all day.
Yeah, but this cast is what the social experiment of Survivor was. Like there have been many, yourself excluded, Gabler, but we didn't. Truth be told, we didn't get a whole lot of you. You were hiding in plain sight. Truth be told, a lot of the players of the new era are literally interchangeable. I mean, like I am pro the diversity initiative, but we're literally getting 15 different shades of the same crayon. They voted the same. They think the same. They are entitled to the same. Like it's. I want the guy with the MAGA hat and the gangbanger on a season. And guess what? Shocker, folks. When you strip away the bullshit, they probably become friends.
Of course, because they probably agree on 90% of everything anyways, which is typically how it is. There's much more in common than we don't. But, I'll tell you something else. This is one reason why this cast is so great is we know this cast. We love this cast. Mm-hmm. And, if you go with any of the last 10 years of episodes, or 10 episodes of the 40s, there are stars that break out. And we want to see those stars back, like Jesse from my season, or Carla. There's other Cody, other people, but there's that's what's fun about a returning player season. And I'm so glad we're having it. And I hope this is the beginning of the 50s, and we have a lot more. I'd like to see themes back, and I'd like to see a lot more returning players, because the returning players that are really fun to watch. I mean, like, how fun is it watching every one of these people? Every time somebody gets voted out, it's like it's only been 2 weeks. There's only been 2 people so far, and I know 3 have left. But it's like, oh, I just had so much. I would have loved to watch them another 10 weeks. It's just great.
And I'm hoping that you're correct in this trend to continue with the returning players. The formula works for the challenge. I don't need a Johnny Bananas Johnny Bananas is my friend, and God bless him for making the living that he does, being on 28 of the 40 challenge seasons. But I don't need Jonny Fairplay on 5 of the next seasons of Survivor.
Yes,
sure,
I'd like him to be on 1 of them, but I like maybe 2. I don't even think I need Jonny Fairplay on 2 out of the next 6 seasons. I think 1 is like, and as Jeff stated on the premiere of season 50, there are 751 players he can go back to.
That's right. And of those 750 plus players, there are stars that are in there that fans want to see. And that's what's really cool about it. I mean, I'm a fan. We're all fans. That's why we're talking about this. And there are people like watching Q. I didn't know I needed a lot more Q, but I did.
I do. Woo, woo. Oh my God. My fiance is losing her mind. She's like, he just said police and woo woo. And I was just like, he sure did. And she was like, I love him. I'm like, I love him too.
And even last week when he was competing against Ozzy, his facial expressions when they did that, he's like, holy smokes, Ozzy's got some gears to him. It was just really, I mean, I love, this is a cast of standouts. And there are many more standouts, which is why I hope we do many more themes and returning players, all this stuff, because it's fun. Like, I'd love to see you again, Johnny. We were texting about that earlier today. I was like, man, I'd love to see you out there again.
Well, and borrowing from the challenges blueprint, like, it doesn't just have to, so like you hear the vocal minority, not the majority. I think the majority do want to see just us come back and do it, like, but there is the vocal minority is like, but I want new people too. That's fine. But I don't do new people I'm not casting new people. Like, I'm not doing the casting call. I don't want you to send. If you want to bring in, like, I say just returning seasons from here on out, and you want to bring in a new person, bring in Derek from Dancing with the Stars. Bring in Rachel Riley from Big Brother. Bring in Johnny Bananas. Bring in Rob R. from The Traders. Bring those, because the celebrities are raising their hand. And if you put a celebrity on a newbie season, it's a fish out of water scenario. Whereas if Rachel Riley's on the beach with me and you out there, we're not going to be like, oh, Rachel Riley, what are you doing here?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt about it. And, I think that's going back to themes like fans versus favorites. I mean, that was a really fun season where you get a bunch of, there are new people because you need new blood infused. That's what's so fun, right? Survivor is so flat. Everybody's a fan, and once in a while a fan gets to play. So I like the infusion of new blood, but I also love my favorites, and I want to see them play because because you played twice, Johnny, but it's like,
wow,
I know from playing once, it's like I learned a lot, right? You learn how you play. And even though, it went well for me, I know I've got there's other, because when you get on the beach the first time, you're like, what the hell? It hits you in the face like Mike Tyson, right? It's bam. And you're just trying to figure it out. So being able to play again, that's why these games, that's why this drama and the gameplay is so sophisticated, so fast out the gate for 50, because it's a bowl full of sharks.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too, guys. I think that, Johnny, I disagree with your take about saying that it has to be always returnees, right? Or some celebrity version, whatever it may be. Here's the reason why. If we do that, we don't get a Carolyn. We don't get a Jesse. We don't get a Gabler.
But we have enough Carolyns and Jesse's. Just bring back Carolyn and Jesse. You're not going to find a better Carolyn.
It doesn't matter.
I want to find the next. I'd like to see another Carolyn. They're out there.
She's on Love Is Blind, and she's with the fat guy.
There's a star out there somewhere that hasn't been discovered yet. That's going to be that fresh blood that the show needs. Here's the thing, though, where I do agree is I think the show has made one big mistake, and it waited 10 seasons to give us a returnee season. And it was the fans were clamoring for it. We were ready for it. We were just getting kind of worn out by not just the fact that it was new cast every time, but it was the same exact premise and concept every single season. And that's what was really getting draining and dry about the show. Now, to have this returning cast where, yes, it is a lot of the same elements from the new era, but it's the cast that we've been wanting to see, even though we don't agree with every casting choice. What is great, and what I think they nailed that we probably underestimated ahead of time, was the fact of how does old school play with new school?
I love it, Bobby. I love your take.
How do they get back to each other? The best example is Colby and Rizzo. And I know the guys talked about it yesterday, where you get Colby, the most old school of old school kind of guys, literally from season 2, and you get Rizzo from 49. The two different dynamics of gameplay, of how to do camp life, all that stuff added together. We didn't see it at the time. We were like, why do we have Rizzo out there? He was just on 49. What does he deserve a spot over someone like Jonny Fairplay? It's because you get the two different types of games in so much years.
I love it.
It's super true. And I love that, we'll talk about this, I'm sure, later, but, Rizzo was able, he came on kind of, a little, maybe self-admittedly a little obnoxious, and rubbed a few people, especially the old player, the old school players, the wrong way. And he's self-corrected. He's self-corrected, which is why people that do well on Survivor can make adjustments, can read the room. It's like the emotional intelligence, the EQ. And, when you're out there playing and you're seeing people and you're like, I think I'm talking too much to her. I need to, or I'm whatever it is. And you can self-correct. It's pretty, that's the nimbleness, the adapter that gets deep in the game.
But I think it's not only a combination of Rizzo turning the volume down. I think it was Colby turning the hearing aid up, going, all right, I know I said this guy is annoying, but fuck, I was a young buck. Like, correct. That was me.
Well, and
like, not to that degree.
it goes back to emotional intelligence that Colby has, right? When he's done great at Survivor, and he was, first he was irked by Rizzo, and then he was like, you know what? He reminds me of me. And that was a very fun moment for us to see that.
That's the first time I loved Rizzo. And I got there, I'm just like, all right, I'm in on this kid, right? Like when Colby changed his mind, I changed my mind too. I'm right there with you.
Up. You betcha. And it's very true. It was really fun. This is such a fun season. I'm just loving it. I'm right from the very start, or should we say short? I don't know.
Yes. And let's get into that. One last thing I want to say is, one thing I hope Survivor picks up from this is they don't need to wait 10 seasons to bring someone back. Do it every 5. Give us at least a little bit of like, okay, now we need, because
I'm with every season. I'm over
every
it.
3, sure.
Give me every season out, and I'll give you a fans versus favorites in there.
The reason why I also feel like it feels so long is because the last one was Winners at War, was the all-winner season, was season 40, and then we had a pandemic. So it feels like we've all lived a lifetime since that's happened. Like, there's just been so much that has happened in the world since then. We've gone through a couple different presidents since then, right? So it feels like it's been a long time coming. And now it is the Hallmark season of 50. Now that we've gotten to this point, you can see the reaction. You see the numbers that the show is getting. Give us more of this. Not every season. I don't agree with that. But give us it at least in a quicker time span. Now, let's get into the actual episode, because we're going to try to speed this along. Oh, yeah.
Can I do a little show and tell real quick? Because, Gabler, I think you'll appreciate this.
Oh, yeah.
The Survivor 50.
Oh, cool.
Dogfish Head.
That is sick.
So for the Delaware Golden Idol deal, it was at Dogfish Head Brewery, and they made a special IPA and these glasses.
No way. Awesome.
Yes.
That is really cool.
You still get them?
They sold out that day, and like, just with the 2,000 people there, they put them up on their website last week, and I think they sold out in 4 minutes.
Wow. Okay. Well, keep me posted when they're back.
Guys, we're in the wrong business.
Yeah. Well, if you're looking for collectibles, I suggest you get a Rob Icons hat. I have the gold and black. I have the white and black. I have the brown and tan. And oh, what is this, Bobby? I have Vikings and Ravens purple and white.
I need that hat. I need you to send me that hat.
So yeah, so hit me up, get in my DMs. They're available. And then I have the First Boot Legends, me and Sugar shirts signed by me and Sugar. All the fun things. Just shoot me a message. I'm at Jonny Fairplay, no H in Johnny, and all the things. All right, let's talk sharding.
Let's talk it.
Yes. So we immediately go into the episode, and one of the first clips we see is Joe talking to Christian. They're kind of doing stuff around camp, and all of a sudden you just see Christian's face, and Joe honestly thinks this kid's like having an aneurysm or something. Like, what is going on with this kid?
What
did you guys think as soon as you saw his face?
Dude, it was hilarious. So I was watching it at 2 a.m. last night. I was at the hospital all day yesterday. We had a lot of crazy cases. I finally sat down, turned it on, and I'm kind of getting some dinner ready. And I'm watching, and I'm like, did he just say that did that just happen? And he's walking around there filming it. I can't believe they filmed it. Number one, I can't believe they filmed it. Number two, if I was that guy, if I was Christian, I would have run, not walked, run to the ocean and dived in there.
Yes, yeah.
I think he was doing the containment walk.
He was doing the green apple quick steps.
Yeah, it was. Yes, I told this story a couple weeks ago. Burton from Survivor Pro Islands, he had just gotten like a brand new like BMW or Porsche or something, all leathered out interior. Just got it. And we were on our way to a St. Patty's Day party. And so he picks me up in my apartment in LA. And I get in, he's like, hey, what do you think, fucker? And I'm just like, nice. And I ripped the biggest fart ever, brand new. Like, hey, fuck your couch, Charlie Murphy. And I sharted.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
What did Burton do? Were there screeching tires? Was there an ejection seat?
If he could have. So we went to this bar called Boa, and Erica Landon from Big Brother was working the door. It's like one of the first times I'd ever met her. She's like, oh my God, Jonny Fairplay. I'm like, I'll be right back. She's like, oh no, let's take a picture, all the things. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just like, I'm looking at Bert. I'm like, I need to throw my fucking underwear in the trash and wipe my ass.
Well, that happened on Survivor last night, and it was interesting to watch the whole thing play out. It was hilarious because that tells you, they're only 4 days in, and while they're returning players, most of them don't know each other, and it's so funny how barriers are just down to zero within 24 hours on Survivor. Emily's. I mean, you would never walk down the beach, have that happen to you, and then be laughing and talking with all of your friends of, like, oh, hey, Emily, hey, Joe. Yep, that's what's going on. And just, it's really fun. It just shows how tight people get so fast.
And what's funny too is like it happened to the perfect person. And this entire episode reminded me, and maybe I just had forgotten it because it's been a while since his season, but it reminded me how much we needed Christian back on our TV. Like from start to finish, this was the Christian episode, albeit not for completely compelling reasons, but just for the character that is Christian Hubiki.
He is when he was talking to Ozzy through the hammock net.
No, Joe.
Joe. That was Joe.
No, it was Joe. It was Joe. Thank you. It was like, I was like, because the screen was zoomed in kind of like my face is close right now. So you're like seeing his face under this thing. I'm like, where are they?
That's where I think everyone is like, how is this being filmed?
Is there a thatched hut back there? What are they doing? And then they shows him like underneath the hammock talking. It was like, and then Christian's kind of swinging him and talking about his social game. Christian is one. So I'll tell you, he was not somebody I would have on my radar to win the game before the season started, but he is very well insulated right now. He's got people around him. They'll take a bullet for him, but they'll certainly tip him off. And, he's very smart. He's lovable. He's not likable. He's lovable. And, he's also a different person. He's kind of like Mike White, where he put on some muscle. So I don't know, man. I mean, we got to see who gets to the merge because there's so many killers out there, and we saw one go home last night. That's a hell of a player, but just couldn't, get past it, and that's because everybody's tough this season.
Here's my I've been on record. I hate the nerd archetype, the John Cochrans of the world. I'm just not a fan of. As a viewer, for me, this is just personal preference. You know, like I'm sure John Cochran is a fine human being in real life. I just don't like it. And but I always like. I never loved Christian Hubiki, but he always kind of got. I've always felt he's fallen on this side of the cool line as a nerd.
Sure.
Like
sure.
Whereas Cochran is definitely on the other side for me, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I've always felt he's on this side, and this season, like he's on this side of cool, but him and Devons are fucking evil. Like these are the bad guys. But what did you just say 3 sentences ago? Possibly the most lovable player on the season.
Yeah, it's really wild. But that's what's so great about a returner season is you've got everybody there has done well in the game and everybody's standout uniqueness. So bringing them in, it's not a surprise that there's so much to talk about on every one of these episodes. They're just every minute of it. I'm literally ear to ear smiling, watching it. And the time went by like that. I mean, it was like, it's just, this is such good. I mean, congratulations to Jeff, to Mark Burnett, everybody for putting that together. Cause this is a big promotion. You were part of the promotion and I was too. And I'm just really proud of seeing what they've done with 50 because it was a lot of hype and I had high expectations and they, if not met, exceeded them.
Yeah. I don't think I did have high, like, I think that I was just like, they're going to fuck this up. Like, cause you see the cast and you're just like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, you know, and I'm just, and no, I still don't know if on paper they nailed it, but the Survivor gods were just like,
yes,
we got this. This might not be perfect on paper. We'll make this work, and it is fucking working.
It is working. It's fire. It's really good. I'm having Bobby. I mean, what do you think, man? You're a big Survivor fan.
Yeah, I think that if the best thing that happened to the show was so many low expectations from the cast, because eventually people finally came around and was like, okay, it might not be perfect, but at least it's 50. Like, let's get into it. Let's watch it. We got some people we really want to see back. Let's go and watch it and go in with, see what happens. And I think that's best for the show. I think when you go into like a winners at war situation, you're at no way do you have an opportunity to outdo the expectations, right? Where it's winners at war. It's all these winners playing against each other for $2 million. Like, this has got to be amazing. It wasn't amazing. It was okay. Like, to me, Winners at War was a good season, not great season. This, going into 50, I was like, all right, let's just see what happens. I'm here for it. At this point, I want to see the product. And it's lived up and exceeded those expectations, where I think that's what it needs. It needs to go in with mild to mid expectations, and it'll rise above it. Now, one more thing I want to say about Christian, and Gabler, you brought it up. I want to give kudos to the editing department and to the videography department, right? Who thinks to take that shot of him under the net talking to Joe just randomly? That is so in depth of what Christian is, where he's charismatic, but he's also a little bit of a goober, and he does weird things, but he's weird. Yeah, he's a little weird. He's a little off ball, but like at the same time, those are the things that we love to see because that's what makes Christian. And it's as simple as getting a shot of him underneath a netting, pushing Joe, and then him getting up and rocking Joe while Joe's just sitting there like this. It's stuff like that that could easily go under the table or under the editing and no one thinks twice about it, but they see that as a character development for Christian because that is his character. And I love that they gave that to us.
And oblivious Joe that doesn't realize all this is happening around him. Like that's what of it all and the filming of it all. He's just, he's like, I'm truly great. And I'm going to ignore all of this weirdness because in case no one's listening, I'm talking about honor and telling the truth. Can we focus on that and not get whatever weird shot you're trying to do with me? Okay, great.
Well, he even said that he's still got PTSD basically from being blindsided from Kyle and Camilla. And that is probably true. It took me about 2 years total to fully process my experience on the game because it was, it takes a long time to figure it all out, for people to see it, for you to put it and compartmentalize it and grow from it. And Joe's not had that time. He's not had that time. He's had very little time. So for him to go right back into that is like, holy smokes. And I think that, he's doing his best. From what I heard online today with Savannah was talking, that argument between Devons and Joe was much bigger than we saw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds insanely bad. And I wish we would have got, I think they've done a really good job telling stories. And I feel like they dropped the ball on that story. Like why not show? I mean, but you do see Devons, like Devons tries multiple times. He's like, look, man, it's fucking just relax. Take a fucking chill pill, Joe. And Joe's like, no. And then Devons just like, it was basically like, well, then fuck you. Because I'm not gonna I've tried to hold your hand. I tried to tell you you're great. I apologize for fucking lying in Survivor, but none of this is good enough. Fuck you is the correct answer right now.
And I think that's kind of what happened. I think that's what it was. Now, the other thing is, Bobby and Johnny, you both alluded to the masterful job they do. I mean, Survivor's the best. They're the granddaddy of all reality shows. So their cinema is great. Their photography, they're artists at this point. They're not just technicians, they're artists. And I think, maybe there is a bigger blow up with Devons and Joe, because I think there will be. And maybe this is just like to let us go from, zero, just to kind of play. Who knows? We don't know what they're going to do, but they're really good about hiding things for proper reasons.
Yeah. And that camera shot that we saw there, you don't get that camera shot on the challenge. You don't even get that camera shot on the fucking traders.
No.
Yeah. And I've been very harsh about the editing over the course of the new era, where I felt like they left a lot of the character development off the table when it comes to really getting to know why these people are the way they are. You're telling us that this is how they are, but we're not seeing it on our screen. And I think this episode, just one episode alone, episode 2 of season 50, we literally got more character development out of Joe than we did in his entire run on 48, where you see why people didn't vote for him in his season. You see why those little aspects of Joe that make him hard to play with, that now we're seeing it on our screen. We didn't get that in 48. And I think that they're giving us character development like that on everyone, which is more compelling. And the guys kind of said it last night. Usually on a new person season, you have to go through the first couple episodes of getting to know these players. We know these players. Now we get to
and that's why to bring back returners, because you start from day one caring about who's on that beach. Yeah. And that's what happened with 50. We cared about every single person on that beach because we knew them all. And that's to Johnny's point. I think there's I hope that they do that just from every reason. It'd be a fun fan thing to watch. It's just because you don't spend 5 episodes figuring out who's who. Know, and you're already invested. It's way more fun.
Gabler, real quick, I have a question for you. Real quick, Gabler, what are your thoughts on the 8 people tribes?
I would like to see them get either like 2 tribes. I'd like to see 2 big tribes again. I don't know what the perfect days are out there and everything, but I'd like to see 20 people, 30 days. I think that would be a compromise of everything. And it's still, that's kind of like they're trying to meld, see how tight they can make it, how long they've made it. Johnny, you were there on the long ones. But this new era does work well. I think that maybe they'd stretch it, because I'd like to see more people. If they could put a little bit more, and I think they should have every other season where it's 2 tribes, 3 tribes, 2 tribes, 3 tribes type of thing, to where we get a little bit more, because it changes the dynamic gigantically. If you're on a tribe with 9 or 10 people and you go to tribal council, okay, that's all right. If you're on there with 6, it's not great, man. That's really hard. Yes. And but it's also good gameplay all around, because there's groups within groups. If you have a group more than 3, there's 2 groups, right? You have 5 people, there's 2 groups there.
Yeah. No, I love it. And finishing on Joe real quick. I'm sure we're going to say his name one more time at least, but just finishing this thought, I feel for Joe in that he got one of the greatest edits in the history of the show his season, and it wasn't really true.
Well, I disagree. I've met Joe, and he is the guy from
but the story we were fed was everyone loves Joe and Eva. Joe and Eva are great, and the story was they were kind of over the Joe and Eva shit pretty fucking soon.
And probably so. And, he probably ran the beach a little bit like, Boston Rob, where he was trying to be a beach boss. Or Rupert, a beach boss. And, beach bosses tend to go far, but not win. Rob was the exception, and I don't think he could be a beach boss twice and win. No. So, it's
six times of being the beach boss for the perfect scenario of fans on the random buff that he pulled before the try.
It was the perfect storm for a beach boss to go far. And Joe did go far. And I think that he's playing in 50, my opinion, a little bit jaded and shell-shocked from his prior season.
Yeah.
I think he might have been a sweeter player the last time. Now he's like, what do you mean? You go up to Joe in the morning, you go, good morning, and you go, what do you mean by that? He's kind of like, whoa. But he admitted it. He's self-aware enough to know that. Yeah. And he's probably just competing, struggling, trying to get his bearings. I'm sure it's weird to wake up on the beach and be like, oh my God, I'm here again. Because, it smells the same. It's all the weirdness. So there's that. And his last experience on Survivor was pretty hard. That was a hard couple days for him at the end.
I think if Joe runs into a coach or a Jonathan,
I hope so. Don't you want that to happen?
That's the anchor that Joe needs in his life.
He does. And you know what? If he doesn't get there soon, he won't make it. But it looks like from the preview of next week, they are going to shuffle the tribes up. And I hope, to your point, Johnny, maybe you called it here, that he gets put with one of those other guys. Because Coach Ozzy and Jonathan would be the bromance of all bromances right there.
Yeah. Well, I think Ozzy's on the bubble. I think Ozzy's kind of like, we gotta we're losing, guys. We kind of need to win. I don't think he's 100% pro Joe, but I think Jonathan and Coach would, and maybe even Colby would be 100% pro Joe.
Yeah, you're right. You're right there because Ozzy and Coach would not be in the same alliance together.
No.
Clear. That's dead forever now, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
So I would be remiss if we didn't bring this up. So last thing I want to talk about with Christian before we get to some of these other characters, before we start talking about the rest of the episode. Christian did bring up a name during the episode, and he might be sitting in front of us. Johnny, what was your reaction when you heard your name come up on Survivor 50?
I got a text yesterday morning, someone that had seen the screener for a podcast, and they were just like, you get a shout out, Fairplay. And I'm just like, huh?
Johnny, what did I text you at 2 a.m. or 3 when I was watching? I texted you a screenshot of my TV with Jonny Fairplay with that quote on there.
So no, I got a heads up. So I was ready. So I was just like, did Savannah? Because Savannah has said in some interviews, she was a Jonny Fairplay great fan growing up, to make me feel extra old. And they're like, no, Christian. I'm like, Christian? And it's just like, yeah. So anyway, so I'm on, and I can learn just like, I feel like this could, and he was just like, he's just like, hey, I'm like, this guy's a fucking superhero, like not a superhero, like he is a hero to the superth degree. Like this guy is really about honor, not Coach's bullshit honor. This guy is really about truth and honor. And, we can potentially bring him to the dark side, but we can't, this guy is not going to be Jonny Fairplay in the next 10 minutes. And
I love that. It was a great analogy that every Survivor fan knew about. And I literally texted you last night at whatever time that was. But it's a great comparison because everybody knows it and understands it. And I think if you've got somebody like Joe who plays a little bit like Mike Turner, right? Like that's another fireman, by the way. And by the way, little kudos to Joe real quick. He's going to be in Tyler Perry's Where Smoke There Is Fire on Netflix. It's going to be like a 10 series thing. He's going to be the fire chief. Let's kudos to Joe on that one. Because amazing stuff.
Did you see his 48 hours thing on CBS with his sister?
I have not seen that. I didn't know about that.
It's I'll see if I can find the link. It's because I was not I don't like the nerd archetypes with the exception of Christian, and I don't like the good guys. Like I just don't. And I didn't like Joe.
I'm a good guy.
You have your evil moments.
I'm a reptile. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I watch that because I literally go to bed every night listening to Dateline and 48 Hours and 20, all these true crime stuff. And I watched that 48 Hours, and I was just I messaged him. I was just like, hey, I saw your 48 Hours piece about your sister. And I just want to say I think you're an incredible human being. And you are a real life hero, and I just want to give you. He was like, "Oh my God, Fairplay likes me." I'm like, "No, let's not get it twisted. I hate you on the show." But I was like, "Real life, you are indeed a hero, sir." So it was pretty amazing. So yeah, just really like you, Gabler, you're a real life hero.
Our Survivor community is a special group of folks, and that's what's so cool. The fans, everybody, it's so flat because everyone's a fan, and once in a while a fan can play, and that's what's so amazing about this. And I just think it's since being on the show, I've been in contact with a lot more people, and it's just amazing. Everybody's just so cool. I love this community, the best.
Yeah. So and I agree with you guys. I think this community is amazing. Everyone I've met has been very welcoming. So I want to say
that's not what they messaged me about you, Bobby.
Oh, that's great. That I'm 5'2" king, apparently. That's what they're messaging you. So I do want to talk about some of these other tribes, and one tribe I want to talk to in particular is the Callow tribe, the Teal tribe. And we get the moment where everyone's coming into the challenge, and we see Camilla realize, oh no, Kyle's not there. And like, get the look at the new tribe, and you see Ozzy breaking down, getting almost teary-eyed, talking about like, this sucks. We go through so much to get here, and for it to be taken away like that is so brutal. And then we get to Coach, who doesn't bring up anything about the Kyle situation, which was the question.
Moving on.
All of a sudden, it's just, I want to direct this towards Ozzy. Ozzy, I don't want to lie spread about me. I'm an honorable man. And Coach, everything you said about, I'm not going to try to play the honorable game goes right out the window now. What did you think, Gabler, of that, honorable coach moment?
It's so coachy because it's like, so everybody watches it and they're like, they know that's like his style. You're just going like, if you have to tell everybody you're honorable, you may not be, it's like, if you have to convince me, they should be telling you you're honorable about that. Is that they're not doing, they're telling you the opposite, I don't know. But pretty funny. What do you think, Johnny?
So I love Coach on Token Chins, and what I loved about him was he was an unaware douchebag.
Self-awareness could have been improved. Yes, he was lacking. He had blind spots. We'll say there were some blind spots.
Yeah, and I love that. I found that endearing.
It's very endearing. It's very endearing because it's very honest. And Coach is a guy that has a lot of self-confidence, right? A lot of self-confidence. Yeah. And I think that even though he may even have more confidence than ability sometimes. And that's where it's really exciting to see
that swimming later.
Oh yeah, we sure do. He has more confidence than ability, but he tries and he works hard, and he is inspiring in that way. Because I think he's another fan favorite. Like we love Coach. It's going to be weird. Something's going to be happening where he's going to be on the not just the yoga poses, but there's going to be something awkward. And he does provide that. So I kind of like that. As somebody that also does that kind of thing, I think it's a good thing.
Well, as I said, I think he's lovable, but I think he's an unaware douchebag. A lovable douchebag, but a douchebag nonetheless. And that's what I loved about Coach and Token Chins. And then when he came back for his second season and he's trying to and I'm just like, I don't like this story. I don't like this coach. I don't like this story. I don't care. I felt Coach 2.0 fell flat. And Coach 3.0, I felt like they put a bow on it, but I didn't even care. I want 1.0 Coach. And I feel like 4.0 Coach is 1.0 Coach.
Well, maybe it will be. 3.0 Coach is pretty good, though. So he was out swimming past the break. He's got these big old flippers on as he's paddling out there.
Yeah.
And, you're dehydrated as can be. Yeah. All your salts, your sugars are gone. Your muscle, your potassium's gone out the window. If you're Jonathan or Ozzy, it probably doesn't matter. But any other human, it really does. And your calves are just burning. But Coach's calves didn't just burn. They seized up into two massive Charlie horses where he is floating there. Jonathan's fishing for fish. Johnny spears like a bunch of fishy shit. He's like, "Hey, what's going on, Coach?" Because he thought Coach was meditating on the top of the water.
Of course. Yeah, Coach is coaching over there. I'm trying to catch fish, and you're fucking coaching.
Yeah, he thought he was. Of course, that's what I thought too when I first saw him. I didn't realize because the way that the camera did it, that they had coaches out there laying in the water. And I'm like, dude, this guy's just meditating. He flew out there, he's meditating, and Jonathan's just. But in reality, Coach is trying not to sink because his feet are on fire and his calves are locked up, and he's going to drown. And they had to rescue him. They have rescue divers out there.
Fucking rescue. But last night at the bar, like I was watching with Hatch, and me and Hatch are just like, "Oh my god, this cannot be any funnier." This morning, I'm watching with my fiance. She comes here, she was like, "Oh, not the little boat." Oh my god, not the. She was like,
"It's not good."
We made the analogy. It's like the kid on the ski slopes, and the snowmobile has to pick him up, and they mark your fucking lift ticket with the fucking scarlet A, and you can't.
Yeah, you get removed because Well, it was so funny, and then Coach gets back to the beach, right?
Oh.
And he's walking like he can barely move on the beach because his legs are cramping up every 2 seconds.
But don't worry, Mike White is there for the sympathy. Fucking point and laugh.
I would have too. I love Mike for that because I would have been laughing. I would have tried to help get some coconut juice in him and stuff. But I'm like, I would have been laughing and all day long at that. I was laughing.
And Charlie was even like, I'm not a big Charlie fan. And Charlie was just like, oh my God, fucking grandpa Coach over here. Like, I'm just like, all right, do I like Charlie now? What is happening in my life that I'm liking some of these people?
The only way that scene gets any better is if the whole reason he gets cramped up is because he gets a toe ring cramp. Like the toe ring, finding out that he has a toe ring older than me. And like, I was fully expecting like that was going to be the reason. I wish that would have been the reason. That would have been the climax of the show right there.
In fact, that's one way Survivor's not scripted, because if it was, they would have been a toe ring connection to that.
Sure. Exactly, right? Like that. I thought we were getting that for a second there. I was like, no way this is happening.
Gabler, are you a toe ring kind of guy?
No, sir. No, sir. I've got hobbit feet, and they just got really long toes, so it's kind of weird.
Okay. I saw this online. I don't know if it was true. Ozzy's using the immunity idol as a cock ring. Is this true? Did you?
It could be. I don't know.
He did pull it out from down his pants and said Jeff would know where he had it.
Hey, there's a island. It's the island. It's the island.
I mean, that doesn't seem. I'm not a cock ring kind of guy, so I'm not one to ask. Gabler, I'll let you plead the fifth.
All right. So next, let's talk a little bit more of the Vatu tribe, who, we get little bits and pieces of the Vatu tribe. And one particular piece we got in this episode was we saw Genevieve start to question, hey, I think Aubrey carries her bag around too much. Yeah. Like there's something there. And I love the way the producers gave this to us, because they showed everyone kind of working in tandem to keep Aubrey away while they went through. And I don't think it's a problem. I've always been one to say Survivor. In the that's fine. That's fine. You can disagree.
I hate it. And I said for years I would never do it. I've changed my
you would
I'm going through your bag now only because if Colby's co-signing the fucking bag search, then we're good.
Well, sure. And to go back, Bobby, when even how the producers put it together, everybody before they went into the bag off of Genevieve's suspicion, they all sat around and rationalized their crime together, so that before they did it, so they were all in agreement. They're like, yeah, we shouldn't do it, but I'm okay. Are you okay?
We shouldn't do it, but if you do this part, I do this part. If all of us work in committee on this fucking crime, then it's okay. Yeah.
If you're the person that says
how bad it is, and then they immediately assign roles to carry out the farce. And then they went into her bag, which Genevieve was funny because she was like, well, I guess it's fair game on there, which is what, Bobby, you were saying. I think I'm kind of in between you guys on that, because I think it is your sacred spot. It's the only place you're private on the entire adventure. Now, that said, would I go into there? I mean, if I thought somebody had an idol in my game and needed it, then I've got to do what I got to do. But I think that the taboo of it is the truth, or we wouldn't you wouldn't have everybody every season going, should they get in their bag? And as somebody that had their bag violated, I was able to use that violation to help create suspicion in someone and to get them off. So, but that bag is a real thing on Survivor. It's a real thing.
Here's another reason why I say that it's not a bad thing is because as soon as one person throws it out there, if you're the person that says, I don't think this is cool, I'm going to stay away from this, then the target's instantly on you. So when one person brings it up, you have to be a part of it in some form of doing it, where it could be the distraction or actually being the one going in there. I love how Genevieve was like refolding her clothes and like putting it all nicely and be like, I'm sorry.
You know what? A little thing. So the way I found out my bag had been violated was I had my shot in the dark
cum stains
in a sock, in a sock, and I had it folded with my immunity idol on either side of the sock. And I knew whenever I got back in there that it was like a tube sock. So then when I got back from the swimming, fishing, they were on the top, and I knew somebody had been in there. It was either Owen and Sammy or it was Janine and Ellie. And sure enough, a couple days later, figured it all out.
So yeah.
All right.
So
go
ahead. But here's the thing. I like Aubrey. I don't know if I would have put Aubrey on 50. I'm wrong. I would definitely put Aubrey on because I'm literally like crying over this woman. I
He's
love
great.
her so much. And but if you're Aubrey, you're as a fan, you're seeing it's all of them against Aubrey. Like
I know.
And I'm just like, God bless. Like I'm like, this is like, I'm like, you just feel so bad, and then they don't find it, and I'm just like, great, fuck all. Like you guys are assholes. Is where I'm at. Man. And then we saw on season 1, Genevieve give Ozzy the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol it was just like, okay, I'm getting this back because Ozzy's going to get fucked. He doesn't know how to play the game. Whereas we see Christian, who is a bad guy, like literally told us, I'm not playing this on like Joe is stupid for being honorable. He's literally a bad guy. And he does like if any of us watching could do anything to help Aubrey, Christian's like, hold my beer. And I'm and he is just and he does the salute. I'm like, fuck all of you. Like
it was so good.
Really one of the most beautiful things in the history of Survivor. So and she needed it in that moment too. I mean, like not only for gameplay, but just that fucking you're not fucking alone.
Because she was alone. And just to have that moment, you know, they captured it so well, and she's such an expressive person. Christian that's why I mean he could be he could go really deep in this game because
I don't even care if he doesn't. Like let's do a fucking $1 million fucking fan vote and give Christian $1 million because he's got my $1 million vote right now. I mean, literally, I'm sitting there. This kid's fucking punch someone that fucking saluted. If you're, you know, you're crying.
It was really cool, and then Aubrey got that at the right time. Mm-hmm. I think it boosted her up, and from the preview from next week, apparently that's going to be something pretty important to know about, which I think is great. I mean, is it Wednesday yet? It's awesome.
Right? I know. And I want to kind of put a bow on this and start to wrap this up since we are getting towards the end of the time that we have. But I want to just get into the actual vote out, right? And the actual lead up to it. We see in this episode, and I have to say, we didn't see Siri go home last episode, but there was a lot of heat on her. There was an opportunity where they could be taking out Siri, and they didn't take that opportunity. I think in episode 2, we see exactly why they probably should have and why they made a mistake in not taking out Siri, because Siri's social game is literally the best of all time. Her ability to read people, to be able to manipulate people's thoughts,
seeds and work them up. You bet.
And hearing her go through the steps of how she does it, how she narrates her thought process, and then watching it play out on our screen, she's TV gold when it comes to the strategy and social aspect. What were your thoughts?
Masterclass. She was absolutely in danger last week, and you know, for her to get Ozzy through, and she's protecting him, and she's doing it brilliantly. It's a masterclass on listening, eye contact, tone of voice, and a little sarcasm in there, because she was like, well, you know, what do you think about Savannah? What do you think about so-and-so? Mm-hmm. And it was And then you got people talking about those things, which is what she wanted them talking about because it wasn't Aussie. So just Siri, man, if that woman makes it to the merge, I'm cheering for her all day because I don't think she will because she's too big of a target. But if they let her get much farther, they're not going to be able to control it.
And she's never had an advantage. Do you find that odd?
I didn't even know that because she's playing. This is her fifth time play.
Like you would literally think she's had 100 advantages because it's just like, well, Siri's not winning fucking individual immunity.
Yeah. Well, and that tells you how good Siri is because, now her physical game has gotten a lot better. It's still not great, but it's better. It's never been good, right? It's always been a liability. And then her searching for idols, liability. Her search for advantages, liability. But what she's got is that relationship skill that trumps all of it, and it might just be good enough for her to win Survivor.
And I think that's going in on paper. That's the story I would have loved is the Siri story. Right now, 2 episodes in, give me a fucking Devons story. Give me an Aubrey story. Give me a Christian Hubiki story. Give me a coach story. Give me an Aussie story.
Right.
Give me I'll accept 10 stories right now. And I didn't say that 2.5 weeks ago.
For sure. I think going back to our earlier conversation about we're invested in all of these folks. We know them. We've cheered for them. We've cheered against them, all the above. And the fact that we're on episode 2 talking with this much passion about this tells you that this is a beautiful formula, right? It's really good.
Yeah, and one other. Go ahead,
Chrissy Hoffback. We may not be rooting for.
Chrissy's got to watch it. She's smart. She should be able to self-correct this, but we'll see.
She is very. I feel there's a tribe in which she thrives, and the tribe that she is currently on is not that tribe. She should. If she were on a Joe tribe, I think she would do A-okay.
That's such a cool point. Depending on what tribe you are, you've seen people that are in the catbird seat all of a sudden give a tribe shuffle and they're gone because it is so important who you're with. You got to find your people. It's like what who was saying that last night? I got to find my people. Was it Savannah?
Yeah.
I think it was Savannah. And that's a truth.
Yeah, because she goes, I have this advantage, and I was pretty forthcoming last season, but I have yet to find because she's thrown out bait to Devon, she threw out bait to, and no one's really these fish aren't biting and taking it. They're nibbling, and she was just like,
she's smart enough to know that.
I'm not telling you my fucking advantage if you're nibbling.
She was smart enough to know that. And but that's really true. She's like, find your people. And there is something to that. That's the beauty of getting to the merge. Well, you got to get to the merge at all costs because your people are going to be on the other side of the merge if they're not already. And you might have 1 or 2 with you, maybe if you're lucky, but you get to the merge, you got to quickly meet everybody and then find your people in there. And that's what's so fun about watching returning players go because they know that.
Yeah.
They know their people.
They know
Last thing before we wrap this all up, I'd be remiss if we didn't at least talk about this because this is something we haven't seen really since probably Winners at War. When we saw someone try to use tribal council to their advantage when it comes to immunity idol or something like that.
Oh, Adam trying to play the podium.
Yes, with Adam trying to play an idol that didn't exist. So we get the whole conversation of Rick Devons and Christian, and this is why Rick should have never been an alternate for 50. Rick is playing you know what?
Oh yeah,
this might be my last time playing. I don't even care if I go home. I feel like I'm playing a great game. I want to play all out and make season 50 fun and make it so entertaining because he doesn't have to do this. He can play safe. He's in a good spot and he can play.
Who did he replace?
What?
Who did he replace?
I don't know if the information's out there. Someone probably knows. I haven't looked up who he replaced, but he was an alternate going into the season. Wow. And then we get the aspect of him being like, do you have that parchment? Let me hide that and we can play this out. And you get Christian fake falling. Of all people that they could get to do the fake falling, was that not the best, most hilarious person for it to be?
It was fucking Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis.
Yeah. And it was a good fall. And he even got up and said, oh, I meant to fall. because
Yeah.
he's not even why. He literally got up. Like, I meant to fall. They go, you he's like, yeah, I meant to fall. Which he truly did. Can you imagine?
Joe should appreciate that shit.
Can you imagine if he gets to Tribal Tribal Council and he goes back and he uses that little nugget and go, hey, like when you tripped, that wasn't very truthful about you tripping. And he goes, well, actually, I stood up and I said, I meant to do that. I told you that directly. It's like, it's kind of cool, man.
Like it's so perfect to his character too, because if Ozzy does that, if Siri does that, it doesn't land the same way. But it's Christian Hubiki who's already a little eccentric.
On brand.
Yeah. And then walking the wrong way on and Siri is just like, get behind fucking hey, Jesus, you are
so funny.
So weird little person.
Yeah.
How do we think this is gonna pan out? What do you think the plan is long term for this little advantage being placed there?
You know, I'm thinking that they're going to put it in an obvious enough space or whisper to it so that somebody has to look for it in the right space if people don't accidentally find it. But the true power would be if somebody sees it, sneakily takes it, they notice it, then they can puppet master that person based on knowing that they're firing a blank on that advantage. I mean, it's pretty devious. Johnny, it's something you'd probably crush. I think you'd probably be awesome at that.
I love it. Honestly, I'm sitting there watching and I'm thinking Jesse. This is a Jesse Lopez move.
Yeah.
This is a Jesse move. Jesse is a 5 moves ahead thinker type of guy, and he's a quiet listener. Jesse's he would never go on a show again without having a threat level, but he entered 43 without a threat level, and it wasn't until deep that everybody realized that there was a tiger in there. But it's a very complex and fun way to do it. And I think that's something that you could do, Johnny, because you're a fun playing guy. And I think anybody that wants to put a little action and spice in there, I think that's one of the most fun things about Survivor. That's something that I would be, going in the second time, you kind of think about different things that you could be doing. The first time you're just trying to survive, but the second time you can have a little bit more fun with it, I think.
When Devons on they CBS social media they showcased one of Devon's tribal councils, and in which he went to he was just like, Jeff's like, if you have anything, and Devons is like, yes, I have the Survivor menu, I'd like to use this. And you had evil Ron Clark, possibly the nicest human being on the planet, super evil Ron Clark, smiling and basically giving him the middle finger. And Jeff goes, yes, this is true. However, the bottom of the page was ripped off. This expired on day 5. And then you have Devons going, it wasn't enough just to fucking vote me out. You had to embarrass me in front of my children watching at home.
Oh.
You wanted me to look like a loser to my kids.
That was rough. That was rough.
Scumbags. He goes, but you know what? I knew you were a liar, and I knew you were a piece of shit, and I have an idol.
That is an idol. Yeah. It's pretty wild stuff. But I think somebody will find this. They will have a puppet mastery. It'll be very interesting because we'll see who the person is. It looks so legit. I don't know how anybody would think it would be. So, I mean, I wouldn't feel bad about it either because, you're just going to do your best on it. But we'll see. It could be really fun. We'll see who gets it, what they do with it.
Well, here's my question. I think that because if they undo the parchment reads exactly what it was. It's just the Billie Eilish idol information that's on there, right? If I'm wrong, let me know. But I think that Devons is doing this to benefit himself, where I think in the middle of tribal council, he's going to get up and act like he finds something. Because how else do you do that? Someone's just going to read it and there's no idol inside. Okay, there's nothing here. What is this? That's more confusing than him getting up and be like, I found something.
It would be so baller to get up there and read it in front of tribal council because nobody would think it's fake. Nobody would think it's fake. Whereas if you find it in the jungle, it's like, is that a stick or is that a real idol or whatever? It could be something. This one would be, it's almost like it's opening it in church. You're at tribal council. Jeff's there. You're doing it in front of Jeff. It's got to be true. So that would be if he does that, that's Devons.
He says his plan is to pretend he finds something. So no, wow. So
I think I think it'd be even better if him and Christian came up with the plan of they both act like they see it and try to dive for it at the same time, and one of them gets it, and then they can act like they're mad at each other. Oh, these guys aren't working together. He just stole that from him, but really they know the whole secret behind it.
And then you have whoever that is potentially working with or against you. You have both sides feeding you information of what they want to do. You have all the information of the trial.
Yeah, you're right in the middle. Smart. That's right, Johnny. That's a smart play right there.
I love being in those spots.
AC/DC coming right across, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that said, I think we got to wrap things up. Johnny, anything you want to throw out before we get out of here?
Yeah, let me just share this with you guys real quick. It is the Survivor Season 50 viewing party schedule. That's right. Myself and Richard Hatch. Last night we were in Newport, Rhode Island. Do not go there. You can. It's wonderful, but we won't be there again. Next week, it's my birthday. I'm going to be in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Fowling Brewing, or I don't know. It's really cool. It's Indianapolis. Go to survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. The following week, Newport News, Virginia. I'm at Kazi's Comedy Club. Me and Hatch for all these. The following week, the Survivor RVA, the Richmond folks. I'm going to be in Richmond, Virginia at Star Hill Brewing. Me and Richard Hatch. SurvivorTix.com for all these. SurvivorTix.com. The following week, April 8th, me and Richard Hatch, Jimmy's Famous Seafood. That's right. If you're a wrestler, it's your favorite place to go in the world. It is Hatch's birthday. Very excited for that. Gabe Ortiz will be joining us there. Ty from Destination X, and surprise guests that I can't say because they're from season 50. And one of them was loud, and then they got quiet, and Colby liked them. Then on April 22nd, Charlotte, North Carolina. That's right. Woo! The home of Ric Flair for a little bit, and then he owed taxes or alimony or something, so he doesn't go there anymore. But yeah, we're going to be at Heist Brewery and Barrel Arts. That is on April 22nd. April 29th, I'm going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. Matt Bishop's going to be there. Richard App's going to be there. Oh, we have one more that was just added. Holy moly. May 6th. That's right. Salt Lake City. Woo! Finally making it to the other side of the country. Salt Lake City, Utah. We're going to be at Wolf Dog Brewing. They are releasing the Robbed Icons West Coast Session IPA Session Ale. Let me try that again. The Robbed Icons West Coast Session IPA Ale. Sure. Very excited about that. That is May 6th at Wolf Dog Brewing. That is the only one that is 21 and up. Everything else is all ages. So for that one, it's myself, Richard Hatch, Todd Herzog's going to be there. Cowboy Rick is going to be there. Sean from season 45. We have a lot of folks coming out. That is May 6th. Go to survivortix.com, survivortix.com. And yeah, hit me up if you want a t-shirt or a hat. We have some of those available. Those are going fast, and they'll be available at all the viewing parties as well.
All right, Alec Gabler, thank you so much for joining us. Anything you want to shout out before we get out of here?
Life is short. Life is now. Live it.
There we go. Guys, next week I will be gone. Johnny will be gone, but there will be people like Gabe, Wayne Mehmet, Matt Bischoff. They were all here last night with you. They'll be with you guys again. I'll be at the RHAP live show in LA. So if you're there, hit me up on social media at Goodsby Bobby. Let me know you're going to be there. Come say hi. If not, find me at the bar. That's where you'll find me. I will be there having fun, and we will see you guys next week with our Survivor 50 coverage, right here at Reality After Show. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.